SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, this has to be some of the worst news I've reported in a long time. I'm really disappointed in this. Probably the worst outcome possible. Anyways, let me tell you guys all about it. The state of New York is going to be enforcing a $15 broadband law. Now, obviously, home ISPs, the broadband providers, home broadband, home internet, they don't like this law. This law would essentially give people who qualify as low-income customers a subsidized cost of service for their home broadband. And the providers would not be making much money on this. I can empathize with the business. They're in business to make money, for profit. It's the whole premise of why they're open and why they conduct business. So I get that part. But this gets bad because a certain home broadband provider by the name of AT&T, which you guys know as the Death Star, they're no longer going to sell their home internet service in the state of New York because of this law. Now, the way this law is structured is you'd have to qualify, right? Low-income residents would get the monthly broadband rate, $15, 25 megabits per second, $20, 200 megabits per second. AT&T's response to this law and the structure of it, they are no longer going to offer 5G home internet in the entire state. That would be the AT&T Internet Air product. For those of you that have been following, you know all about this. It's their fixed wireless access. For what it's worth, AT&T does not offer wireline service. They don't offer DSL, copper. They don't offer fiber within the state of New York. AT&T made a statement, quote, "While we are committed to providing reliable and affordable internet service to customers across the country, New York's broadband law imposes harmful rate regulations that make it uneconomical for AT&T to invest in and expand our broadband infrastructure in the state. As a result, effective January 15, 2025, we will no longer be able to offer AT&T Internet Air, our fixed wireless internet service, to New York customers. Not only are they not going to sell it anymore, they are going to disconnect people from the service who have it currently. They are pretending to do people a favor by saying we're going to give you 45 days to figure out where you can go. I'm not even sure if they're charging them, which is good, right? It's nice that they're not charging them for the next 45 days while they look for a solution. That's commendable. I can appreciate that. My question to AT&T is, how many customers do you really think qualify for this service? Like, how many folks is it that you'd have to sell $15 or $20 internet to? You got to keep in mind, guys, we don't have an ACP program anymore. So the folks who used to qualify through that program and receive the subsidy, it doesn't exist anymore. I actually think AT&T is handling this wrong. AT&T is going to be dealing with regulators very closely during the Trump administration. In my estimation, they're going to be very active, trying to acquire more spectrum, trying to purchase additional companies, mergers and acquisitions, gaining spectrum through FirstNet, the 4.9 gigahertz. There are so many things that AT&T is going to need from local, state, and federal governments. And they're not playing nicely here. If I'm a regulator, I'm watching this very closely. AT&T wants to be a profitable, wealthy business, but they don't want to play nice. I think this is a bad look. I think AT&T is going about this the wrong way. If they just followed through with this, accepted it, for those that qualified, they served those customers, I think there's better outcomes for them. If I'm regulators, if I'm leaders within these local, state, and federal government decisions to be made involving AT&T, I am holding this over AT&T's head. This is short-sighted, this is petty, and this is wrong. We are a better country when all folks can afford home broadband to better do their jobs, to better educate, to stay connected to their world. This is really frustrating. Again, I understand the business angle, but how many people are really going to qualify for this cost service from AT&T? Unbelievable. I'm really not a fan of this. You got the news, you got my personal take. What do you guys think? Nobody needs to be attacked. Everybody's opinion is valid and warranted. I just want to hear what you guys have to say on this. Give me your thoughts and opinions. What do you think is right? What do you think? How should this play out? How did AT&T play this? The right way, the wrong way? What's your take? Sound off in the comment section below. While the voice of the people, the SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.